Good evening from Miniature Printerland. Good evening, everyone, and happy December. The weather outside is frightful, and in here at Mini Prints, it's quite delightful. We have our first winter snowstorm tonight. Not much snow, but at least there is a little bit of dusting on the ground, and it is chilly out, and I think we've got a bit more snow coming on the weekend. So welcome. Thank you for joining. And the cookie this broadcast, the first person in, I was going to say this morning, but he wasn't in that early, goes to Sparky. So thank you, Sparky, for posting the link to the ITLA website and to the Amherst 2025 Railroad Hobby Show, because those are our two very special guests tonight, and they are right there. They're right in the basement. And in about half an hour after a little mini prints business, I will be bringing them on to talk about the Amherst show, which is very, very, very exciting. But before we do that, as most of you know, this show starts with two things. Three things really. It starts with me loading up my presentation. There it is. And hitting play. Okay, that's good. It starts with me welcoming some people, and it starts with picking a beer. So as I mentioned, Sparky was the first one in. Dave Hammer, looks like you made it in second, and I've got some questions for you. Stephen, welcome. Todd Armstrong, good to see you again, and more about that in a moment. Anthony, who else? Steve is here. John is here. Let's see, Mason Dixon Railroad, welcome. Anthony, welcome. Dave Cruzwick, lovely to see you. You're going to be mentioned later on in the broadcast. Steve 87th is here. Jeff Schultz is at work, so hang around for as long as you can hang around. And if you can't hang around, you can always catch the replay on both YouTube and Facebook. Let's see, Trackside Mike, keep it on the tracks. And Gerald Stewart, my goodness, people are just streaming in. Well, welcome everyone. And I will welcome the latecomers once we do the next most important thing. So let me fire up the old presentation here. All right. So as you might have caught at the beginning intro, there were some scenes there live from Durand, Michigan. And I always like to do a little rail fanning on my trips to and from. So this time it was Trainfest last month. And I stopped, I always stop where there's a virtual rail cam or something of interest. And as you can see from Durand, which is a CN, very busy main line, caught some really interesting short line action and some main line action. And there is a Michigan Railroad Museum in a very, very interesting and historic old train station. So I would recommend it highly. It's, Dave Hammers just said it has 2 webcams by Railstream at that location. That's right. That was a really fun stop. And you put the drone up and got some really, really fun video. All right. So tonight's a little bit different. We will be picking a beer, but we will be choosing from one beer for the first time, I think, in Mini Prints history, because this is a beer that was given to me by Steve. There's Steve right there. Did I see you in the chat, Steve? I think I did. But it was very kind of him to give me a local Wisconsin beer. I actually pre-drank one that I'd had at a pub, and so I know it's good. But I wanted to very specifically say thank you. And we met at Trainfest, and I was handed a lovely spotted cow. So get your votes in. And for the first time, I guess in miniprints history, we will vote. I think it probably does have cheese in it because boy, did we have a lot of cheese in, in Wisconsin. It's amazing how much macaroni and cheese they serve, or just anything cheesy. What does it say in here? I haven't even read this. Wisconsin's original farmhouse ale is artisan brewed and canned by the hardworking employee owners here at New Glarus. Spotted Cow adheres to the purity law using 4 natural ingredients: yeast, hops, water, and malted barley. Well, that's good enough for me. So is it Kevin? I didn't know that. Actually, that's kind of cool. Welcome, Kevin. Go local, Spotted Cow. So I actually have a very, very sad story about Wisconsin beer, which I will tell you as I pour my Spotted Cow. I left, was it Monday? Yes, the show was, Trainfest was Saturday and Sunday. So I left Monday morning, and I wasn't really thinking ahead because I was so busy at the show. I figured I'd pick up 3 other Wisconsin beers on my way out of town so that I could give you a choice of 4 Wisconsin beers. But of course, on a Monday morning at the early hour I left, nothing was open. So thank you, and cheers to Wisconsin and Spotted Cow beer. Oh yeah, I was thirsty. And it's very good. So thank you, thank you, thank you. That was a lovely gift. I have to say, it's quite nice when somebody walks up to you and says, I think you like beer. Would you like a beer? So thank you. All right, moving on. Trainfest. Trainfest was a wild card. I'll be honest, I wasn't 100% sold on going, but I was pleasantly surprised. It was my first time ever in Milwaukee. Yes, you were there. Shawn was there. Sorry, yeah, I said Shawn, right? Yeah. Shawn was there. Did I say Steve? I meant Shawn. I'm sorry. Kevin was there. Dave was there. So it was a lot of fun reaching out and meeting with old friends, meeting some new friends. Lauren was there from OVR. That's right. He went down. It was actually, I wasn't sure whether they were going to get the crowd, but they did. And there were lots of great people. It was well attended. Michelle was there. There was a lot of fun, familiar faces, met a ton of people, saw a lot of stuff from manufacturers. And of course, I was there doing some scans. Now, this is not all of the scans. This is just a few of the scans. So if you were there and you got scanned, you don't see your scan, don't worry. There are lots of scans. I just haven't had time to go through and process them all. So you might notice a few familiar faces there, but I'm getting through them. I think I did 16 scans. So this is the first, I guess, 12. I've got 4 more to go. And they all turned out really, really well. And when I was there, part of the fun was scanning. Let's see. Sorry, this is good. Yeah, I think you are in scan number 16, Dave. I think you are in there. Hardcore was there. Hardcore, okay. Yeah, Chuck, it was good to see you there. Yeah. Let me make this a little bit bigger. So I was really happy and thrilled that David Pop and Jerry Leone, I think it's pronounced. got scanned. I met them. They are, if you're not familiar with them, David Pop is an editor from Model Railroader and is now running trains.com. And Jerry is a miniprints customer, has been a miniprints customer for quite a while, and is an amazing modeler. And it was a thrill to meet them. As you can see by the photograph, we had way, way, way too much fun. And I just realized something. How's the audio on this? I'm not even using my microphone. Oh my goodness. I just realized that I'm not doing audio in on this, and no one said anything. Is the audio decent? I'm using the default MacBook microphone. Okay, well, if nobody, audio is great. Okay, thanks, Sparky. So we scanned them. We had a bit of fun. But the amazing thing is, after the fact, they put up a little article, 5 things I loved about Trainfest. And miniprints made the list at number 4. So that was really, really surprising and quite a lot of fun. So thank you very much to the Model Railroader guys. And thank you, everyone else. There, my wife is my audio engineer. Thanks, honey. Nice picture of you and Pumpkin. This is cool. I don't think we had pictures like that before, but there's my wife and Pumpkin. Yeah, it was a really great show, and I'm absolutely thrilled that we went down, and would very much like to go back and visit Trainfest again. Speaking of which, if you didn't go to Trainfest and you're curious and you're interested in what it was all about, I did 2 lives. I did live part 1, where my selfie stick was going a little bit crazy, and the audio and the video is less than be desired. So forgive me for that one. The live from Trainfest number 1 was me walking around and talking to manufacturers. The live from Trainfest part 2 is much better, and I'm looking at some of the layouts. So if you missed it and you're interested, check out the miniprints YouTube page, and you can take a look and check that out. And yes, Trackside Mike, Pumpkin is the horse. You assume correctly. And yes, Jennifer, Pumpkin is absolutely adorable. So there we go. Alrighty. Hide current comment. There we go. So I don't know. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I want to mention about Trainfest? I don't think so. Lots of fun. Hung out, drank beer, played trains, scanned people. It fits in quite nicely with what we're going to talk about in a few minutes, which is Springfield, because I tried a few new things out at Trainfest, and it's always great to sort of have a dry run before the big show. And trust me, we're coming up to the big show. All right, let's talk about a few recent mini prints. And then we're going to get to the peanut butter lid contest. And then we're going to get to our special guests. So I didn't, Kevin. Unfortunately, when I work a show, the disadvantage of working a show is that I very rarely get to do all the fun things that attendees do. But that's one of the reasons why I'm cutting back a little bit on my scanning this year at Springfield, because I've been to Springfield 2 years in a row. This will be my 3rd year, and I've never seen the show. So that's one of my goals this year, is to actually be an exhibitor, but also a participant. So what is new in the last month at Mini Prints? Well, let me show you. I introduced teddy bears, and that is, believe it or not, an exact 1/87th scan of my teddy bear that I had growing up. That's Pooh Bear. and Pooh Bear got scanned and shrunk because a trucker asked me if I could create teddy bears because truckers put teddy bears on the front of their trucks. So that is new. As I'm sure you've seen, we now have sprue cutters, which is something that a lot of people asked for. And I got mini print sprue cutters made. Right now they are $9.99 each, but if you place an order over $60, you get a set for free. And I will probably keep that on until the end of the month or until I run out. And I might have 20 left. So I'm not sure which will come first. Hopefully I'll run out. Mrs. Claus got scanned and added to the repertoire. That's something that a lot of people asked. There have always been Santa Clauses available, but Mrs. Claus was a request. And then these really neat freight doors that you can then basically slap onto any wall flat and get an instant industry. So that's kind of fun, something to add. Mike H.O. Trains did an amazing job painting up 3 fantastic new models from the Model Mechanic. So the Model Mechanic came out with some forklifts that I am printing and carrying. One of which is called a Moffat, which is a 3-wheel forklift, which I believe hangs off the back of trucks. That's the red one down below. The yellow one is a Heister style forklift, which I believe is used for more industrial large truck applications. And Mike took the landscape trailer and turned it into a CN utility trailer. Oh, there you are, Mike. I didn't even see you. Welcome. And yeah, those CN trailers, those utility trailers are absolutely spectacular. And I've got a line on some more CN logos for you. So we are selling those as a special edition, the utility trailer. And they're proving to be popular. So lots of fun there. A reminder that Mike does all of our object painting. And Sunny, who was, if you remember, our summer student, does all of our animal painting. And who was it? It was Nelson requested an emu, which, believe it or not, we'd actually already had, but I just never listed. And there was an emu, I believe, on the loose. 2 of them were on the loose in Ontario. I think someone might remember the news story. Anyway, emus do get on the loose. I know there were monkeys on the loose somewhere down south, and emus on the loose as well. So if you want to model a emu running through a rail yard, now you can. And it was beautifully painted by Sunny. I see some, let me chat here. Someone is talking about, what are people talking about? Meet and greet. Yes, there will be a meet and greet at Springfield in the Mini Prints booth again this year. So we will definitely be doing it. We've got a little bit of a smaller booth, which I will show you in a moment, but I think we will still be able to have a wonderful meet and greet. So absolutely 100%. When will be determined, but there will be a probably 12 noon would be my guess. And the only question will be, is it 12 noon on Saturday or 12 noon on Sunday? And if I remember correctly, I believe that we've done the YouTube meet and greet at 12 noon on the Saturday, because that's when more people are at the show. But I'm not against doing it both days. So we can do it Saturday for people who are there Saturday. And if people are not going to be there on the Saturday and only there on the Sunday, pop by. We can have an informal YouTube meet and greet. But yeah, let's definitely do it Saturday 12 noon, and we can formalize that at a later date. All right, back to a few more new mini prints and speeders. So some of you might remember that we have an S2 speeder, a Fairmont S2 speeder. These are models made by Stephen Gardner, who is here in Toronto and who volunteers at the Toronto Railway Museum and has access to these types of things and actually does fantastic measurements and 3D prints of them. What we have added is an M14 speeder and what's called a Woodings rail car. And the Woodings is a track inspection vehicle. So those are new. They do not operate. Yes, we absolutely, Jeff, you are 100% right. And that would not be a licensed character. So I could probably figure out how to make a Buster Keaton. No problem. That's a great idea. So now, was he on an M14 is the next question, but you know what, we've got a little latitude there, I suppose. So what was I going to say? Yes, so brand new speeders. The neat thing about the Wooding speeder is that it comes in two parts. There's the top part there you can see in the bottom part. So it makes it a little easier to paint the inside of it or put figures on the inside of it. And the last new mini print that I wanted to share tonight is the stockings hung by the chimney with care. So all of these mini prints are available in HO, S, and O scale. And I have not tried any of them yet in N scale, the speeders and the fireplace, but I will definitely give them a shot. All right. Oh, right. 20% off. So I think that's about it for sales for the year. Black Friday and Cyber Monday were incredible. Thank you if you put an order in. We had over 300 orders last month, and there is a substantive backlog right now. So we're working as quickly as possible, all hands on deck to get orders out before we break on the 20th. I will probably be here over the holidays more or less, but really the gang is going to sort of break on the 20th and come back after 2 weeks. Al, that is a great question, and I will answer it momentarily, so stay tuned. So what I'm thinking is, by all means, place orders if you would like to place orders, and you will get the free rail sprue cutters. But don't necessarily expect that if you're placing an order now, it'll go out before Christmas. But what I thought I'd do is, how about a 20% off gift cards? And these gift cards can be for yourself or for others. And these gift cards can be redeemed in the new year. So it just gives us a little bit of time to get through the backlog. If there's a model railroader in your life that you would like to give a gift to, or if you would like to give yourself a gift for the new year and save a few dollars, use the code GIFT20 and you can buy $20 gift cards for $16, $50 gift cards for $40 US, and $100 gift cards will be $80, and you can use those in the new year. Very, very good question, John. Thank you. I really, really appreciate this question. The answer is no. So very, very, very happily, all of our US orders go out with a USPS. So we actually ship US orders domestically, which means that we go right around Canada Post, and there are no orders that are affected by Canada Post. For Canadian orders, we ship through other courier services if they are available. So in the last, 2, 3, 4 weeks of this crazy postal strike that we're having in Canada, there have only been 2 orders that have not been able to go out. because they are very rural, and couriers, like there are all sorts of third-party couriers, will not deliver to them. So for the two people that I have not been able to ship to, I've given them a choice. Wait until it's over, or I can go with a more expensive courier option, and I will just bill them with whatever it costs me. And for 2 orders, they're happy to wait. So the short answer is, having made it a long answer, no, absolutely no effect whatsoever. Orders are getting out. Our big challenge right now is to get them out as quickly as we can. And a lot of the Black Friday orders included painted items. And when we send them off to Mike, or when we send them off to Sunny to get painted, that adds, a week or 2. So first we get the order, then we print the order, then we send it out for painting. And by the time it comes back and we package it up, it takes a bit of time. Okay, the next item is the peanut butter lid challenge. But before I go through the peanut butter lid challenge, I've been accused of not drinking beer enough, so I will pause and I will read some comments. If anyone has any questions or thoughts so far, we're almost at the point where we're going to bring our guests on. All right. What's better here, Adam? The snow? I hear you got a lot of snow. All right. All right. It's been many years since I went to Amherst. Well, this should be a year you should go. Sparky is saying the speeder needs to be Conrail blue. Well, Sparky, you can paint your speeder any color you would like. Anthony is asking, am I going to go see George's layout again? I would absolutely love to see George's layout. So one of the things that we'll talk about in a minute is I'm actually going down a day early, and I'm traveling with Nick, and we're going to get to the show early to set up. And maybe that will allow us to go see George's layout if he's opening up, because that would be fantastic. It's BYOB at miniprints. However, I would love to get the brewery across the street to brew up some miniprints beer and have you guys all over. I'm not sure I'm allowed to send it across the border, but you're definitely allowed to come up here. And I do actually have a policy that if anyone comes to visit Miniature Printerland and you want to come up here for a shop tour, chances are we're probably going to be going across the street for a beer. And Dave Cruzwick has officially announced that George's layout is open on the Friday of Springfield. So that is very good news. All righty. Sorry, we're running a titch late, but we will speed things up here a little bit. Are you ready for 3.5 inches of fun? So we had 4 entries to the Christmas mini prints mini build challenge. I think that's a little bit less than I expected, but they're all fantastic entries, so this won't take very long. I probably didn't allow people enough time because it was announced a month ago. So if you wanted to do one and you didn't have time, my apologies. We will have another one probably in the spring. So I am pre-announcing a spring, probably March, probably somewhere around March deadline for a spring mini prints lid challenge. So you have fair warning. You've got 3 months to start preparing. And let's take a look at this group of entries. And thank you to everyone who did enter. Our first entry, and I know he's on the show tonight, is George. Whoops, that's not what I want to do. That's what I want to do. George, I want to go full screen. Hang on. There we go. That's what I want. George entered with his daughter, Athena, who's 11. And Athena worked on the peanut butter lid challenge with George. He says she loves to work on miniatures, and this was a great excuse to work on a project together. I'm not sure if we're the first father-daughter team to enter. George, you are the first father-daughter team to enter. Thank you. Either way, it's a fantastic idea. You're happy to participate, and thank you so much for your entry. It's a totally awesome layout. I see a mini print Santa in there, and I love it. It's great. And so awesome, George. And I'm going to put this little comment up right here. That's really fun. It's really fun that you guys did it together. Our next entry is Ron. Whoops. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. I have been having a few technical. Let's just get that back up. Window. Sorry about that. A few technical issues. All right. So Ron is our second entry. The singers were at the right place to catch Santa going by on a handcar. So that's kind of cool. Those are the Mini Prints Christmas carolers. I can never say that. How do you say carolers? All right. So that's entry number. Trackside Mike. You say Heath's name 3 times and he shows up. Hi, Heath. All righty. So thank you, Ron, for that lovely entry. Let's go to entry number 3. Terry Davis. I see a mini prints. Well, I see lots of things. I see Mrs. Claus. I see 3 Santas. I see the carolers. I see a tractor, all sorts of stuff there. So that's a fantastic entry. Definitely. Oh, there's Santa in his chimney, right by Santa's ice cold beer cafe. So I like that. So that's a good entry. And our 4th and final entry is Tom Campbell, who I saw was on earlier. And I love the turkey on the chimney with the satellite dish. And it looks to me like Santa and the turkey are having a standoff there. All 4 solid entries. Thank you so very much. As you all know, I do a random draw for a $50 Mini Prints gift card. So I'm going to spin the wheel here, and I'm going to do a random number generator from 1 to 4. This is not why we enter, but it's just a little thank you for the people who entered. And my random number generator is saying, let's spin it. Oh my goodness, it's number 1. Congratulations, George. It's here. Can I share this? That's hilarious. Let me share screen. Present. Share screen. There you go. Number 1. Fantastic. Congratulations, George. Yeah, the odds, as they say, the odds were in your favor. So thank you, everyone who entered. Without further ado, and I apologize for being a little behind schedule, but that's kind of the way Mini Prints goes. I'm going to share the screen. Without further ado, the main attraction, who have been very, 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 very patient in the basement. I would like to welcome Mr. John Sacerdote and Mr. Nick Masney from ITLA. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hey, welcome. Good. Thank you very much.
Hey, you're wearing the right shirt for the photograph there, Nick.
It's a different red, but hey, red's my color.
Do you recognize that photo? Do you see who I clipped in the background?
Yeah, yes. I see where you scraped that photo from. That's funny.
Yeah. There was someone standing beside you that I got rid of.
There was, but he wasn't that important, so.
Not really. Some British dude, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Welcome, everyone. How are you?
Very good.
Doing well. Nick, good to see you too.
Yeah, John, good to see you. Thanks for coming on tonight.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah, sorry guys. I guess I talk too much or I drink too much. I don't know which.
Both.
Probably. So people, let's start with the first thing. People were asking where I'm going to be this year, and I've moved again, John.
Yes, and to let everybody know that's here, we talked about this in advance, and we picked a great spot. And if you look at that map in the background there, between Section 45 and Scenic Express area, that aisle is called Main Street.
Right, the one right along here.
That's one that goes diagonally up and down.
Yeah.
So the way you're moving the mouse, yeah, there you go. The way you were moving before, that's Broadway. And that's just our little in-house lingo, so the floor managers know. So you are on the corner of Main Street and Broadway.
Wow.
It is the exact center of the building, the Better Living Center. There's not a better spot. And look who's diagonally across from you. Oh, my. ITLA.
I know. I know. It's kind of crazy.
You've got it. You've got it.
Yeah.
Dead center on the main aisle. I don't know how that happened. You must know somebody.
That's crazy. It's crazy. It's like the Monopoly board. It's like we've got Boardwalk and Park Place.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nick and I are starting to build hotels.
Yeah.
And Bernard, you did say it's a slightly smaller space, but oh my gosh, is it in a great spot? I don't think it's going to matter.
It is. And we are going to fill the corner of Main and Broadway with so many YouTubers.
It's going to be a traffic jam for
Fire
sure.
Marshal is going to be clearing the aisles. It's a lot of fun. And our friends at Model Railroad Hobbyist are there too.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So we're probably going to be hanging out with.
I was going to say it's a Canadian corner.
Yeah. And Jeff Schultz will be there.
Yeah, so that'll be cool.
That's right.
Nick,
so
I
he's
can't
got to
wait to
convince
see your
Joe to
booth.
send him this year. And I'm hoping that we will also see James Regier, maybe. Because he hangs out in that booth. So yeah, Jeff, you gotta hang out. This is gonna be a fun corner. So let's start off with tell us about the show, John, because this is kind of I think this is a bit of a scoop. You haven't done any interviews or shows yet, have you?
No, this is my first.
Okay.
This is a little. It's not for me because I'll talk about it anytime anybody wants. But this is a little early as far as putting it in people's heads and stuff. But I like being on someone who's the first. So that's cool. What happened this year was astounding, and I attribute it to the numbers last year when we had over 17,000 on Saturday in one day. And I was hoping for a big record, but it snowed a little bit on a Sunday morning. So we only had about 8,000. So we had about 26,000. Actually, the number is 26,157, but who's keeping track? But because of that, I've not seen anything like what's happening this year in terms of people wanting to be in the show. For the first time ever at this early date, there are 0 tables left. None.
Wow.
And there are people, I've canceled 75 contracts. So there's 75 people who just didn't make the deadlines who unfortunately are not going to be able to participate this year unless there are cancellations. And there will be. So we'll see what happens. But I mean, I'm looking through the map and I do a color thing on a CAD and then, it's green when they're full. It's red when they're not. So I could, they show up. There's not a single red table, not one. So it's very interesting. So the number of new exhibitors this year is in the neighborhood of 23. Altogether, we have about a dozen more than we had last year. So I've actually tried to consolidate some areas. No thanks to Nick and his new area, which was twice the size. Teasing.
Yeah, we'll talk about
Thanks,
Nick's
John.
plans of taking over the show in a minute.
Yeah, thanks for that. Actually, I was trying to say it earlier. I can't wait to see the new booth. It is going to be very cool. So I look
Oh,
forward
that's
to
cool.
it.
I hope so. Thank
Well,
you.
he's
Yeah,
got to have extra space to for his celebrity guest appearances.
There you go. Got to do something. So
That's right.
we're hovering around 400 exhibitors. We're talking 1,600 tables. That does not count the 57 layouts that are in the show. And it's I've gone back to my CAD guy, and I said we've got to cram more stuff in there, and we were able to cram a few more tables. So we're looking at 350,000 square feet of space, about 9.5 acres of trains, and we've got more outdoor exhibits this year than I've ever seen. In that we've got a live steam locomotive, 2-foot narrow gauge. Some of you that have been in the past have seen it. The Adaville layout, railroad is going to come down and fire up a live excuse me, easy for me to say, a live steam locomotive. And we've got a 25-tonner from the guys in Naugatuck, Connecticut. So that'll be outside. And there's usually a few rail cars. We've got one inside. A couple guys bring their stuff outside. So we've got a whole parking area just for outside. We don't even include that in the 350,000 square feet. So we're getting close to, we're hovering on 400,000 square feet. If
Wow.
Yeah, I know. And honestly, I wish I had another building, but it's just not available at the fairgrounds. And there's not 400,000 square feet available anywhere in New England. So the closest place is Jacob Javits Center in New York City. They have 1 million square feet. But honestly, that's $50-$60 a day parking and an impossibility to get to. So that's out of the question. We love where we are, and we have to live with what we can live with.
Steve has an idea that I put on screen. He's suggesting that you tell the expo to add a building.
Well, that's funny, Steve. There is another building right next to the Stroh building, and it's the Coliseum. And they actually are in the process of building. It used to be a hockey arena, and it's for horses and all that kind of stuff. So it's a dirt floor, but they are in the process of building a wood floor over it, much like they cover the hockey ice, when they're playing. And they're thinking, if the problem is right now it's not heated. So we'd have to get some heat in there. And they're talking about doing that. And I said, if you do it, I'll take the whole building. So it's another, it's surrounded with seats. So, that's wasted space. But there's 50,000 square feet of floor space.
So, John, I'm bringing down a friend who is a first-time attendee. Lauren introduced me to Blair. Blair was with Lauren at Trainfest, and he's going to come down with me and help me in my booth this year. And we were looking for a hotel for Blair just a couple days ago, and talk to people, to let people know about what's the hotel situation.
A lot of the big hotels are sold out. They've been sold out for over a month. This is another thing that's leading me to believe that it's going to be another large year. There are still some. So if you go to railroadhobbyshow.com, now at the top, there's stuff about the show, and then the submenu says accommodations in the area. There are still some great hotels that have space left.
Good.
So you can find, and they are at a severe discount. The walk-in rate for the Sheridan off the street, you walk in, the rate is $278. Our rate is $115. But the Sheridan is sold out. But there's still room. But believe it or not, we had to pick up some extra hotels. There's still room at the casino. I went to the casino for the first time because we need more hotels. But if you look at the list, I put those that are sold out, a big red banner sold out. So I think there's only 3 that are sold out. So if you keep checking, you'll find some space.
Yeah. And Steve did mention Connecticut is 20 minutes away.
Yeah, a lot of people will stay at the airport. One of the top secrets is, the BDL, Bradley International Airport, serving West Springfield, and Hartford, Connecticut, is right on Route 75. And if you take 75 north, stay on that road. In 11 miles, you bump into gate 1. It is a shortcut that nobody knows about. So people stay at the hotel and we around the airport. We have some good rates at some of the hotels around the airport. But check the list because there's still some in the surrounding area. We try to post how far it is in minutes and miles from the show, but there's still some space available for sure. So
what's exciting you about the show, Nick? You seem to have a significantly larger space this year.
Well, we're hoping to spread out a little bit more, and with John's help, we're able to enlarge our footprint. We've always been a little bit cramped, so we're going to try to spread our wings a little bit. And this year, the goal is to bring with us 4 talented modelers that are going to be putting on live demos throughout the course of the weekend. So you probably know some of them. Steve Juranix has been there with us before.
Yep.
Brian Schilling will be there with us, and he's architected a new product line that we can touch on in a bit. Craig Brotman, who's a fantastic modeler, and he spins our stuff a little differently. He uses a lot of AK products and a lot of different textures and things like that. So it's kind of a neat addition to our basic painting, if you will. So good to see him be part of this. And then lastly, we've asked George Dutka, who you might know has contributed to RMC many times, and a fantastic modeler and gentleman all around. He'll be there as well, helping us demo some of our product.
Wow!
So
very live and interactive.
That's the hope, and just try to bring people in, and from my own experience, what I enjoyed about going to a show is learning a little bit, right? So. If you can walk away with 1 or 2 neat ideas, I think it's a successful day, right? So that's what we're hoping to provide is give everybody a little bit of that opportunity and interface with these somewhat master modelers. So good.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. So I got to thank John for his support and in finding us a good home on Broadway in Maine.
Yeah, it's going to be quite the fun corner. I'm looking forward to it.
Good. Should be good. Yeah.
So what's exciting you this year, John? You mentioned new modelers or new exhibitors.
Yeah.
Anything crazy?
Yes. And it's just really right along the lines of what Nick was talking about. I love to see innovative things. And we have a wait list. There's over 200 exhibitors on a wait list. And some of them have been there for years. And it's got nothing to do with time. It's got to do with innovative new products that excite everybody. So I'll travel to train shows. I've been to Trainfest, not this year, but I've been to St. Louis, the prototype week, and I bumped into not only you, Bernard, but I bumped into a couple of new exhibitors that has stuff that really excited me. And so we invited them, and 3 or 4 of them will be there. A couple of crazy sign manufacturers.
Oh, the sign guy.
Yes.
Yeah, he's great.
You know what's funny about it? Yeah, he has some amazing signs. And I said, listen to me carefully. I said, bring inventory, but then I'm telling you, double it. And Scenic Express made that mistake and did not double it. And he was sold out of everything late Saturday before the show closed. He goes, what am I going to do Sunday? I said, nothing. You have a contract to stay here for 2 days, but you're going to take orders, which he did, and it worked out well. He had like a couple of O-scale figures left out of that entire expanse that he has. He had no idea. But the secret is, if you're a volunteer or if you're in the show on Friday, there's 3,700 people in the show, exhibitors, people in the layouts, setting up layouts. There's all kinds of selling going on. So it's really a 3-day show, but don't say that too loud because the Big E folks will charge me rent for the 3rd day.
Friday is the insider day, the manufacturer
show get to see what's going on. And it's become a phenomenon to the point where that's why you have to wear those lanyards and your badges, because there's people that try to get in on Friday to go shopping. And so we patrol and say, if you don't have a lanyard on, a badge, in other words, you're an exhibitor, you have to leave. And we escort you right out. And it's for safety purposes as well.
Sure.
kind of thing.
And
But
I'm
those
pleased.
are behind the scenes things that I actually find them amazing because people want to get into this show.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of cool, but we have to make sure we enforce those rules. I know, Al. I know. I can't give
away all your secrets.
But that's not a secret. Everybody that goes Friday, they know.
Oh yeah, it's a good day to go.
So
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So Nick and I are going to come in. We'll set up Thursday.
We hope, yeah.
Yeah, we hope. Like we'll drop stuff off Thursday night.
Yeah, if you're just dropping off, that's great.
Yeah.
Thursday is setup day.
Yeah.
But some of the large exhibits are also with permission, advance, and it's nothing more than just letting us know. But you guys would be fine if you come in on Thursday.
And then maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm thinking about maybe going to see George's. I love that layout.
George's open every Friday of our show.
Yeah, fabulous.
I've seen his layout. It's a bucket list layout, no question. I've
absolutely.
been there many times. I'm good friends. I'm friends. I'm not great friends with George. I don't see him enough, but he's a wonderful guy, and he'll answer every question you have, and that's one of my favorite things to do. I don't like the rail fan that much because I'm a modeler. I want to look at somebody's layout and say, "Hey, how'd you do that?"
Yep.
And George he loves that, and he'll talk to you how he does everything. Yeah. So it's very fun. And
you've got clinics. You've got clinics on the Friday too, don't you?
Thursday and Friday, there's 30 plus clinics.
Yeah.
And there's clinics running during the show all Saturday and Sunday. So if you go to the website railroadhobbyshow.com, there's a menu across the bar. One of them is clinics. It'll tell you all about the clinics. The clinics Thursday, Friday include meals plus a 2-day pass to the show. So it's a little bit of an extra fee, but it's from the people that attend, they love it. And we have people come back every year. I have people in June saying, "What are the clinics?" I go, "We don't have them yet." we have a couple questions here. Heath is asking if John's FN3 layout will be back this year. Oh, are we talking about the Chester and Beckett Railroad?
I don't know.
Are
we, Heath?
Yeah.
We will have to find out.
But if that's the one we're talking about, no. Actually, there's a long story with that. But, for the first time, one of the new vendors is the Chester and Beckett Railroad Historical Society. That's an actual place in Western Massachusetts. And I did all the hand-laid track on the Chester and Beckett Railroad, that FN3 layout. So it was donated back to us because I was involved. And we're thinking of putting it on permanent loan to the Chester and Beckett Railroad because that is a reenactment of their railroad. And so we're going to be talking to them. They're coming to the show for the first time and as a historical society. And so that layout lives. It's actually in a climate-controlled storage warehouse right now. A friend of mine has a giant warehouse. We have it over in the corner all covered. So it's cool.
Excellent. And what else? Oh yes. So there was Sparky still has his lanyards. Okay, that's good to know. So you're gonna have to check. You have to change the color of the lanyards this year.
You know what? Let me tell you guys another secret. Years ago, before I was the show director, they would have. You've all seen these electric color papers, right? Like bright orange and super bright pink. So the show flyer, whatever color it was, that was the color of the lanyard, of the badge. So it got so bad that people, as soon as they saw the flyer, they'd copy the badge using that color. So we had counterfeit badges.
Oh no!
So
that's crazy.
Now we're with the sophisticated printers that we have, you can't mistake the badge, and we actually give the badge to each of the door checkers and say, "This is what it looks like this year." So, but if you want to use your same lanyard again in your badge holder, that's cool.
And this year, I'm happy to announce that miniprints will be back scanning, and I think we are the only 3D scanner at the show this year.
That is correct, Bernard. And
Yep.
and by the way, if you go to railroadhobbyshow.com, I sound like an advertisement for it, don't I?
Yeah.
If you
Wow.
go there, there are flip cards on the first page. You are one of the flip cards, and so if you flip it to the other side just by hovering over it with the mouse, and you click on the button appropriately, it takes you to the reservation section link that you gave me. So
I did not know that. Is that new? Is that something?
I just turned it all on yesterday.
Oh, okay. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. But yes,
Well,
you
that
are
will
the only scanner there this year.
Fantastic. And I think I can announce this. I think that we're going to have a little mystery box that I'm bringing with me. So mini prints will have perhaps something for sale this year, but it's a mystery. So we'll talk about that closer to the show.
Welcome to the dark side, Bernard.
That's right. That's right.
Sales.
That's right. And what are you planning? There was a question, Nick, whether you've got any new kits that you are going to be showing at the show.
We're hoping to. I'm working feverishly on a new cityscape line that we showed in concept last year at the show, and it's evolved quite a bit to this point in time. It'll be a 5-building set, potentially 6 if I can pull it off in time. I'm not 100% sure, but it's going to feature some really cool architectural details. A lot of 3D printed parts will be included this time architecturally. So some of the corbels and some of the fluted columns on the front and all that will all be separate components. So in keeping with our theme and how we design, those parts can be painted separately and then installed on the model. So you've got crisp and clean joints and things like that. You're not trying to mask and paint. So we got a little bit of that happening. We have a neat little interior. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but we're going to try for some interchangeability with respect to not only sidewalls, but also interior componentry as well in the models. And what I'd like to do, and if it works out well, if you envision a nice old downtown cityscape, kind of 2- and 3-story buildings like we all see everywhere all over North America, my goal was to try to make these different than what you can normally buy out there in the competitors' world today, but section cuttable so that you can make them into fronts, you can make them into shallow reliefs, you could cleave the rear end off and make an alleyscape as an example, with all sorts of cool little engraving and spalling and all sorts of cool details on them. So I'm going to be pushing hard for that. Worst case, we'll be in a position to take orders, but I'm trying to get to the point where we can sell complete kits. And in that 6th building that I'm alluding to, it'll have a little bit of a history and a little story with it. And just out of total coincidence, it's called the Amherst Hotel.
Really?
I'm seriously, total coincidence.
I love it.
Yeah. So if I'm lucky, I'll have it there, at least in concept. And it was an old my family's old hotel from Amherstburg, Ontario, and it was called the Amherst Hotel, and it stood on on Richmond Street, downtown Amherstburg. And my grandfather ran it from 1949 to 1987. Wow. So it's got a lot of history and a lot of family memories and things. So I can finally bring it to reality. And I think, unfortunately, he's passed on and my dad's passed, but I think they'll be smiling if I do get this thing out in front of everybody.
That's lovely. You're going to have the Sacerdote suite in the Amherst.
There'll be a special double balcony for John up front.
The presidential suite.
That's right, exactly. We've got the other thing, if I can make it happen, I don't have anything close by to grab and show you guys, but I've just recently launched my modular industrial wall panel line that I do in N and HO scale. I just launched it in O scale, and it's massive when you see this stuff built up. So it's if I can pull that off, I'll have some of that there as well. But it is available on the site at the moment. So my goal will be, John, to bring some of that. I know you like the large scale stuff, John. So if I can get it there, I will bring it for sure.
Cool. And that's perfect timing because Heath just asked, when are you going to make something in O scale? So I guess That's the answer right there.
You old scale guys have had so much of my attention lately. It's unfair.
They have
Don't tell the S scalers.
1/48 of your brain.
Oh yeah. Well, that's not much. But don't tell the S scalers because they'll be jealous.
Oh, then the N scalers will want something.
That's right. That's right.
It never ends.
It
Well, I
does
like
never
the
end.
back alley idea because I'm already starting to think about detail ideas for back alleys.
Exactly right. Yeah,
I like
and
the
that's
word,
kind of
Nick. I like
yeah.
the word you use, alleyscape.
Yeah.
Alley-scape, exactly
That was
right.
very
And
cool.
yeah, but maybe I let a cat out of the bag there. But yeah, it's kind of something different, a little twist that we want to try to pursue.
Nice. Well, no, it's good because I mean it's nice to sort of soft announce things, and I'm working on something kind of fun. I'll just show you here. I'll tease it.
Yeah.
3D printed modular brick wall sections.
Wow. Cool. Those are
Yeah.
foundations, Bernard?
These are like old walls that you would find on the moors or the
oh.
downs, or
Oh, that's pretty cool.
you
Yeah.
know. So
Very cool.
these are HO scale, but I want to start doing, it's kind of fun to think of things in sort of series or,
Yeah.
systems.
And they tell a story, right? Something tells a story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I already can see some sheep and a border collie.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's awesome.
All right. Well, this is fantastic. I don't want to go super crazy late because it's 8:06. I know Heath is on tonight at 9:00. So there's no need to wrap it up immediately. But what I'll ask two things. My first question will be, does anyone have any questions for either Nick or John? And my second question will be, is there anything that we haven't talked about, Nick or John, that you would like to share about the show or your presence at the show?
I just want to say thanks to John for supporting us. John, you're the best. I mean, you know, we couldn't do things and try to.
I don't mean to blow smoke, but I've always loved your stuff, and you know that. And you actually did a run for us of a certain building a few years back, and they are long gone, and we need to talk about maybe resurrecting that.
Okay,
but,
maybe so.
But yeah, and I do have one thing. We're adding an extra shuttle from Union Station in Springfield to the show, so we're going to run 3 shuttles now, just because the crowds are getting bigger. And we have this thing with CT Rail. They run trains from New Haven, Connecticut, up to Union Station, Springfield, and we've got a deal with them that you could run any day, Saturday or Sunday, anywhere they travel for $10.
Wow.
So if you want to take a little bit of a break, take the shuttle over, ride a train, come on back to the show. So we're what's a train show without a train ride? And so we're doing it for real. And those tickets will go on sale probably soon. But $10. And we've been doing it on Halloween. And it's called Track or Treat, right? And it's for the kids. And so we sold 300 tickets, as many as a train. They put 2 extra cars on the train for us. We sold out 300 tickets in about 4 hours.
Wow.
Now, can you imagine all these kids and their parents in Halloween costumes, including me? What the heck?
I think this is pointing to being a good year this year.
Yeah, I think so. I hope so.
Yeah.
So lots of stuff coming. Watch for the announcements. Watch for our silly commercials, and there'll be a lot of extras this year. It's Lionel's 125th anniversary. It's the NMRA's 90th birthday. So we're doing a bunch of those celebrations as well, and we're even having op sessions at night if you want to stay late at the train show.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, that'll be a riot. And some of those layouts are huge. The Reading layout and the Dry Hill layout. And,
are we allowed to sleep under our exhibit tables?
Probably not. But in the old days, I could remember some of the kids of the people that had layouts doing exactly that, Bernard, taking their sleeping bag and sleeping underneath the layout. So strange things have happened.
Well, I cannot I'll echo Nick and say I can't thank you enough. I'm so excited that this will be Miniprint's third year. I'm absolutely 100% determined to actually see some of the show this year. I don't know whether I will get a chance to, but it's something that I would really love to see the show one year. I hear it's spectacular.
I haven't purchased anything at the show in 10 years.
Well, no, it's been such a pleasure having both of you. I'm very excited about Broadway in Maine. Yeah.
Should be awesome. Yep.
Should be a lot of fun. I suppose we should probably inform the other corner neighbors that it's going to be a crazy corner with tons of fun.
It really is the Canadian corner, isn't it? I love it.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Yeah. Well,
a lot of people don't know, but I am half French Canadian, so it
there
fits.
You go.
Oh, that's why we like you, John.
That's right. And I look forward to everybody in the show seeing you at the show. If you have never attended, it sounds like this is the year to attend. Are tickets on sale already, or can they get tickets? Okay. So absolutely. Everything that you need to know is go to the website. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So if there are no further questions, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to wrap up a few more things.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome to stick around or whatever. Nick, you and I have an announcement of a little something that we're working on that maybe we'll talk about next month.
Okay, sure.
Surprise here that there might be something that lights up in there. So I'll tell people that we're working on something and we'll announce it at a further date. How about that?
That sounds good. Okay. Great.
All right. Good night, gents.
Good night, guys. Thank you.
Thanks. All right. Thanks for joining. And I can't wait. This is going to be so much fun.
Yep. Take care, everyone. Thank you very much.
All right. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye now.
All right, everybody. So couple more little things. Thanks to John and Nick. That was a little taste of what's coming up. Very excited. You can find out all the news of where Miniprints will be and the links to sign up for the scans at the show. Best place is probably our Facebook page, facebook.com/miniprints3D. I like to sort of close off each show with sharing some of the pictures that have gone up in the Facebook Miniprints Modelers group. So I'm going to just do that at the end of the show. One thing I did tease earlier that I want to mention is that Todd Armstrong, who is in the chat, who some of you know, has started helping out here at Miniprints. So very new. It's only been 2 days, but all hands on deck. We're super excited that Todd is lending a hand. And maybe we will talk more about that in January. Speaking of January, our next show, believe it or not, is January 1st. The first Wednesday of the month is January 1st. I want to do a shout out to Adam Cruz, who I think was on earlier. Bye, Steve. If you have to go, totally understood. If you want to stick around for another few minutes, we'll wrap it up in the next 5-10. But I want to show a few pictures that have totally inspired me and that people have placed on the Facebook Miniprints Modelers. Adam did a wonderful sign announcing the upcoming Colorado RPM meet in September 2025, which I thought was a great use of the little Miniprints arrow sign. Dave, if you're still here, loved your, I guess it's Thanksgiving themed painting. You mentioned something about these going to a new home. I'm assuming those are going to someone's layout. I don't know whose, but feel free to share. Beautiful paint job. If you've never met Dave, that's him there with a cup of coffee. And I think the Bigfoot is looking longingly at your cup of coffee there. So lovely paint job. Thank you for sharing that. If you have any mini prints, I encourage you to share them on the Mini Prints Modelers group. The ever talented and often mentioned Mike, H.O. Trains, has done some incredible work lately. Just, I mean, Mike, you're just knocking it out of the park. And Mike is very good at posting pictures up on the Mini Prints Modelers group. So check that out, including some incredible scratch belt stuff that he is making. Just unbelievable. And I believe, two more. Keith has shared some incredible Mini Prints critters that he's painted. And last but not least, Jonathan painted up some birds, and Gary, who was at the Milwaukee show, did a fantastic None Shall Pass, our Black Knight. All this and much more can always be found, including the repeat of this show if you came in late, on our Facebook page, which is right there, facebook.com, and then I think it's just /miniprints, or YouTube, sorry, .com/miniprints. A very, very, very big thanks to Shawn, and I apologize if I think I said Shawn, I don't know what I said. Shawn, for this fantastic Spotted Cow beer. Thank you so much. It's sadly gone. So if it is truly only available in Wisconsin, it looks like a trip is in order. And I think that's pretty much it. We've talked about the new mini prints. Congratulations to George and his daughter for and all the entrants for the Christmas mini prints lid. We talked a little bit about what's new. I have no idea what questions I had for you, Dave, but I'm sure I will remember it at some time. These things tend to weave in many different directions, and I have been known to occasionally go off track. But I really appreciate this year. Thank you, everybody. It's been a fantastic year at Mini Prints. Sparky has a Christmas show that I want to talk about. I just mentioned that Sparky will be doing a live stream Christmas Day every year. He does his live Christmas Day. So that will be fun. I believe, too, that this Friday I'm participating on and around the layout broadcast. All this type of stuff, this is exactly the stuff that will be posted on the Facebook group. So check out Facebook Mini Prints group for all of the reminders and information. And thank you, Jennifer. It was a fun show. As always, it's been a spectacular year. Thank you, everybody. And I cannot wait to see you all January 1st. A little bit hungover, maybe. We can make some New Year's resolutions, and we can get excited for the Springfield countdown, which at that point will be something like 24 days or 25 days away. So thanks, everyone. Thanks for sharing your photographs. Thanks for joining in. And oh, yeah, season's greetings. Merry Christmas and happy holidays, everyone. See you in the new year. Bye-bye.